Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Smotherman from FBA.com. We're talking today about how to avoid buying inventory items that tank in price. That is probably one of the most frustrating parts of an Amazon business, and I want to teach you on how to avoid or at least reduce the amount of inventory that you buy that ends up tanking in price. You end up having to reprice it or maybe even lose money on it, and I want to help you avoid all of those issues. So while we're going on with this webinar, if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to post those in the questions area in the webinar control panel. We'll get to those afterward. After the presentation, I'll answer your questions, and I want to just do my best to help you make really good choices in your Amazon business so that you can make some more money, gain more freedom, because that's really what it's about. It's about being your own boss, not having to work for somebody else, be in control of your own hours, be in control of your vacation time. I mean, this week's been a crazy week for us. We had, a family member pass away, funeral today, but we were still able to not worry about our Amazon business. We still had sales coming in. We were still able to get things done and not have to worry about asking off for work and not making money while we're having to ask off work and trying to find someone to cover for us or anything like that. We were able to continue to see sales coming in and not have to worry about that at all. And I just love the freedom of being your own boss. And so that's what all of my webinars are trying to be focused on, giving you the information that you need so that you can find that freedom to make better choices in your Amazon business, find better inventory, and be able to get that freedom for yourself, or if you're already experiencing that freedom, to keep that freedom. Because as anyone who's worked with Amazon knows, Amazon changes things. It's constantly changing. Rules are changing, guidelines are changing, things that work are changing, and so I always want to help you with those changes and continue to learn. If you just think that if you're fine now and not learn anything else, then you're going to be fine, that's a faulty assumption. And that's why you're here watching this webinar right now, so you can learn some things and be ready for the changes that come ahead. So let's talk about how to avoid buying inventory that tanks in price. But first, if you are new to any of my webinars, I want you to have a free gift. If you go to fulltimefba.com/sales rank, you will get a sales rank chart, and this sales rank chart breaks down every major category on Amazon, the total number of items in each category, and then they'll break down the top 1%, 3%, 5%, and 10%, so that you know when you're outsourcing, if you see a sales rank and you be like, oh, that sales rank is in the top 1% of that category, that's going to be selling a lot. Or that sales rank is in the top 3% of that category. That's pretty good sales. Top 5% sales are okay, but hey, they're still coming. And top 10%, maybe something I'm not going to go really deep on, maybe even avoid completely, just because those items aren't selling very well. But I want you to be able to make those really good decisions. So free sales rank chart, I try to update this about once a month. And so somewhere around the 1st, I'll send out the latest update. But if you go to fulltimefba.com/sales rank, you'll get that emailed to you. You'll also get a free ebook, Seller Central Tips, a little book that my wife and I put together all about reimbursements, refunds, and fixing other possible Amazon glitches, because Amazon can be glitchy sometimes. You want to make sure that you get your money back and that you make things right in Seller Central. So fulltimefba.com/sales rank. So I know you want to get right to the stuff that we're going to be talking about, avoiding tanking prices. So to avoid tanking prices, you need to understand that the reason why you are experiencing tanking prices is because of unprofitable inventory decisions. Those unprofitable inventory decisions are causing you to experiencing tanking prices and slower sales, and that is causing smaller profits and sometimes even loss. So we want to avoid that altogether. Unprofitable inventory decisions, those are items that take months and months to sell. That's really frustrating. You need to constantly reprice in order to get the next sale. And you sell every once in a while, but you know what? You might have gone too deep, and you might have to deal with costly long-term storage fees. Long-term storage fees come up February 15th, August 15th, and so it's something you need to be aware of because they come around twice a year. And sometimes if you have too much in stock and it's not selling fast enough, you'll get some big long-term storage fees. And if you are having to end up removing or destroying items because they never sell, it's because of unprofitable inventory decisions. And here's why people make unprofitable inventory decisions. Most of the time when people are outsourcing, they only look at two things, two factors. They look at the ROI, return on investment. In other words, when this item sells, is it going to make me some money? And they look at number two, the sales rank. Will this item sell quickly? And that's good to look at. You want to make sure that you make money, and you want to make sure that the item sells quickly. But if that's all you're looking at, you are having an incomplete picture. So here's 3 screenshots of different sourcing apps. Amazon Seller App, Scoutify, which comes with Inventory Lab, and Profit Bandit. Now, Amazon Seller App is free. Scoutify comes bundled with Inventory Lab. You can find out more about that, fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. It's a monthly charge, the best monthly charge I have in my Amazon business. And there's Profit Bandit, which is just a sourcing app, and there's a monthly charge with that. But all 3 of these give you the sales rank and the ROI. And they'll calculate it a little bit differently, which is why some of the numbers are a little bit different, but they're close enough to what you're actually going to get. But if you're only looking at this one little snapshot in time, you're going to be missing out. And so let me tell you about avoiding tanking prices. It's all about making profitable inventory decisions, and that's what this webinar is going to focus on most of all, how to make profitable inventory decisions. Because when you make those decisions, it leads to stronger prices and more frequent sales. Now, isn't that what we want? Because that leads to higher profits and disbursements. And of course, higher profits and disbursements can lead to more freedom in your life. Paying off debt, paying off a mortgage, saving up for retirement, things like that. And that's what a lot of us desire and want with our business. And it's possible by being able to make profitable inventory decisions. So we're going to focus on, let's see, 4 things that will help you make profitable inventory decisions the most. 2 of them is just information, kind of a mindset type thing, and the last 2 are tools that you can use to make profitable inventory decisions. So the first thing is to realize how often things change on Amazon. Things are changing on Amazon all the time. Get this, Amazon reprices their products 2.5 million times a day. And this is actually a number I got about a year ago. It might even be more now. Amazon reprices their products 2.5 million times a day. To give you some perspective, Walmart.com reprices their products about 200,000 times a month. So Amazon is changing their prices. They've got this algorithm that we don't know, we can't crack, and they know how to get the most money out of their items and the most sales. And so they're changing prices all day long. So not only are Amazon changing prices, but third-party sellers, that's you and me, we're changing our prices. Maybe we're manually repricing on our own within Seller Central. Maybe we've got automatic repricers that we have set up, tools that we use to automatically reprice our inventory. Those prices are going up and down. And of course, whenever something sells on Amazon, if someone's not priced the exact same as the item that's sold, well, the next item, the price is going to change. So prices are changing millions of times a day on Amazon. Not only that, but sales ranks on Amazon are updated about once an hour. And so when we are looking at the sales ranks and the prices, they're changing. And so instead of just realize, okay, so first we need to realize how often things change on Amazon. And the second big mindset thing, understand that you need more information than a single little snapshot in time to be able to make a profitable sourcing decision. And so, again, we're looking back at these little sourcing apps, the little screenshots. They give you the sales rank. They give you the ROI. But this is a screenshot of literally a moment in time at 11:39 a.m. Okay, one of them was 11:38. That's close enough. So that's one little single snapshot in time of when those prices are given to you, when the sales rank is given to you. And so You don't know the sales rank that you're looking at right now. It's 1,800, or excuse me, yeah, 188,326. But an hour ago, that sales rank could have been 1,257,640. It changes that much. And an hour from now, the sales rank could be 97,000. And so sales ranks are changing all the time. So just looking at a little single snapshot in time, it's not going to give you the best decision. It's an informed decision, but you don't have enough information. So let's see the information that you do need to know. First of all, we're going to look at Camel, Camel, Camel. In just a moment, we're going to look at Keepa. Both Camel, 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 and Keepa are both programs that track and record the sales rank and the lowest sales price on almost every single item in Amazon. So we're going to look at Camel, Camel, Camel. I'm going to give you a little introduction to what that looks like, and I'm going to show you on my screen. I'm going to go to my Google Chrome, and I'll show you what Camel, Camel, Camel looks like. So I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to start a new thing here. Let's go to Camel, 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 shall we? So Camel, Camel, Camel loads here, and you can see that you can sign in to your account, and you can change. You can go, hey, I can look at Amazon on Canada, China, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Spain, United Kingdom. So this is global. This is not just for Amazon.com. You can look at the Amazon platform for other areas as well. So I'm going to enter in an ASIN of an item I was looking at once before. It happens to be a board game. A lot of you know that I love board games. I love buying board games, selling board games, playing board games. This is the Seinfeld Scene It board game. And as we scroll down, we can see a graph of the pricing history for this Seinfeld Scene It board game. Now let's take a look. On the left side of the graph, you see the price from $0 to $40. On the right side, we see the price, 48 cents, $39.95. So you can see the lowest price it's ever been priced at, 48 cents. The highest price it's ever been priced at, $39.95. And on the bottom, you can see the dates. Now, right here is today. And this part of the screen is today. And if you look back in time, you can see that this Camel, Camel, Camel has been tracking this board game's price since August 13th of 2008. That's almost like 10 years of tracking this item's pricing. So you can see what happens in the past with the price. And you can start seeing trends. You can see like, oh, the price is down and it goes up. Then it goes down and up. Then it goes down and up. Then it goes down and up. If you had to bet money on what time of year this is when the prices are going up, what would you think? Yes, Q4, Christmas time. Christmas time when there are increased toys and games that are being sold on Amazon. So you can see the prices, they go up and down. Now, you might be sourcing this item and see it at one particular time, and it just might happen to be at this time of year where it's priced about $26. And all of a sudden the prices tank, and you're like, oh, that's so frustrating. The price is tanked. And you're like, I'm just going to lower my price to $9 just to get my money back, not realizing that if you wait until next Q4, boom, that price recovers, and you can get your money back. So this is a little look at just the third-party new price. Now, when Camel, Camel, Camel goes to Amazon to grab the price, it grabs the current low price. And it goes to Amazon about once a day to grab the lowest new price, the lowest third-party used price, and the lowest Amazon price. You can click on these links or these little radio buttons, and it will add those numbers to you. So you can start to see, depending on if you're selling it as new, used, and of course it's the toys and games, so it's going to be a collectible, or if you're seeing if Amazon is priced and in stock. And you can also change it to look at the past year. Let me turn off this so it's a little clearer. The last 6 months, the last 3 months, the last 1 month, and you can kind of get a decent idea of what happens with the pricing. And this is just the information for the price. Let's take a look at sales rank. Sales rank The lower the number with sales rank, the higher velocity of sales it has. So let's take a look at what a sales rank graph looks like. Let's just look at the last year. Now this might look like a lie detector test where someone is like lying all the time, but it's not. It's showing you the sales rank and how the sales rank changes over time. Anytime an item on Amazon goes from a high number to a low number means at least one sale. So you can see the number, it's going up and down. It's because there are multiple sales throughout the year. And of course, this time right here, where the sales rank stays at a really good low number over a time period, that is, again, during Q4. Look at there, November 25th. So it's November and December right here where the sales rank velocity and the sales velocity is really good. You can take a look at this and be able to see. I forgot to show you this part. On the left side of the screen is the 0 sales rank up to 200,000. Over here is the low sales rank over the last year, 19,368. The high sales rank over the last year, 182,715. And so a lot of times when we are outsourcing for inventory, we like to have a magic number when it comes to sales rank that we will always buy items if it's under a certain sales rank. But say your magic number for toys and games, which is what this item is in, if the toys and games magic number for sales rank or your comfort zone for sales rank is 100,000, well, guess what? 100,000 is right in the middle. So half the time when you scan this item, it's going to be in your comfort zone, lower than 100,000. The other half of the time, it's going to be higher than 100,000. And so it's like, it's the same item. So you might be passing up on quality inventory that actually does sell more often than you think just because it temporarily has a higher sales rank. Even though if we kind of look at the average sales rank, I'd probably put the average sales rank around 900,000 here, and that's pretty good. Again, you see the timeline over here. This is the last year. You can take a look at the last 6 months, and it will show us the last 6 months, the last 3 months, and the last 1 month. Now, here's a little trick that you might not know. When it comes to reading a camel graph, you can do a pretty decent idea of guessing how many times this item sells per month. Again, anytime the sales rank number goes from a higher number to a lower number, a straight up spike, it means at least one sale. So we can guess, based on this graph, that there has been at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is probably 16. This right here probably is not a sale. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 times in the last 30 days this item has sold. And so that's, pretty consistently. And you can see, again, that the average sales rank is probably around 95,000, 90,000, and is something that I would probably buy in order to resell. So that's looking at camel, and there's so much more about camel that I can show you tips and tricks about it, but this is just like a basic understanding so you get a good idea that how often sales ranks change. They're changing all the time. How often prices are changing. The prices, they're changing all the time. And so to be able to get a good idea of what you can expect for the future, it's smart to look in the past. All right? So now let me show you Keepa. Number 4 of what we're talking about. So remember, number 1 was realize how often things change on Amazon. Go to Keepa. So yeah, number 1 was realize how often things change on Amazon. Number 2 was realize you need more than just a snapshot in time to make a good sourcing decision. Number 3 was learn how to use camel, or look at camel. And number 4 is to look at Keepa. Again, with Keepa, you can also change the language that you're looking at, reading this information at, and you can look at the different Amazon platforms all over the world. So let's look at a particular item. Let's take a look at Paw Patrol Zuma hovercraft. So, oh, I did Hovercraft. That's why it didn't work. Hovercraft. What am I doing wrong? Do I not know how to spell? There we go. Okay. So here's the Zuma Paw Patrol Hovercraft, and just like Camel, Keepa also tracks and records the sales rank history and the pricing history of almost every item on Amazon, but Keepa does even more. And so while Camel will put the information on 2 different tabs, Keepa will put it all on the same page. And you can turn the different lines, the different pieces of information on and off. Let me turn some things off just to kind of give you a good idea of what's going on here. So Keepa is showing us right now the last 3 months for this particular item. And we can see there's the pricing on the left, you've got the dates on the right, and the sales ranks, or the dates on the bottom, the sales ranks on the right. So you can see that they're, in fact, you can hover your cursor over and kind of look at a lot of different information at different points in time. We can see that on Monday, July 17th at $4.50. Amazon was selling this thing for $16.80. The lowest new third-party seller was trying to sell it for $14.17. There was no used offer at that time, and the sales rank was 1,205. Over here, you can see that both Amazon and a third-party seller on Friday, June 9th at $4.10 were both selling theirs at $10.99. There was a used collectible opportunity to purchase at $9.59, and the sales rank was $4.88. So you can kind of take a look at that information. Now, Keepa also shows you a lot of other information. They will show you the buy box. So you can see that the buy box here was $16.75, and that it was by Amazon. You can see a whole lot of different other options to look at for these this information. Let's take a look at the past year for this particular item. I'm going to turn off the buy box here. You can also see in this graph that there are spaces where it's shaded in, and there's spaces where there's white. The places where there's shaded in and an orange line means that Amazon is in stock. The white areas mean that Amazon is not in stock and is not a seller for that item. So this is a big piece of information to have. How many of you have ever been sourcing and you bought something and you're like, oh, I'm going to sell it for $29.99 and I bought it for $6. This is going to be really cool. You get it to Amazon, it's priced at $29.99, and then you realize Amazon just came in stock the next day at $12.99. I'm like, oh, how can I make money on this if Amazon just came in stock? Well, if you had taken a look at the Keepa graph, you might have seen this history that Amazon, over the last year, has gone in and out of stock all year long. So if Amazon goes in and out of stock, you can also see what happens to the third-party prices when Amazon goes out of stock. Amazon's in stock at $12.99. Oh, they're out of stock, so third-party sellers are now selling at $16.59. And so you can see that when Amazon goes out of stock, third-party sellers, they try to sell it at an even higher price. And the sales continue to come in, maybe at a lower velocity, but this is good information to have to see, like, well, if Amazon goes in and out of stock, maybe I'll just wait till they go out of stock again. I'll keep my high price, and you can make some more money that way. But if you look back in the past and you see Amazon's been in stock all year long, they only went out of stock for like a week, the 1 week I happened to source that item, maybe I just need to lower my price under Amazon so I can get at least some capital back to reinvest into better selling inventory. And so it just helps you make decisions a whole lot better when you use Camel, and you use Keepa to be able to make smarter sourcing decisions. And again, there's so much more I could tell you about Keepa that will just blow your mind. Some stuff, I mean, like, say you want to look at the whole lifetime of this item, 1,089 days. Let's take a look at that. All right, so now we're looking at that. Well, what if we wanted to, like, zoom in on what Q4 was like in 2015? I mean, you might want to take a look at what Q4 was like in 2015. One of the ways you can do that is to click your mouse down and drag a certain area and then let go, and that automatically zooms in. Oop, there's Q4. Well, close to Q4. So you can see that once November 16th came, whoa, Amazon was out of stock. What happened when Amazon went out of stock? The prices went up. On November 15th, Amazon and third-party sellers were selling it for $11.69. But Amazon went out of stock, and because of the Christmas selling season, boom, $25, $23.99, $22. They're able to get more money out of this. And so it's like, hey, that's what happened in 2015. I wonder what happened in 2016. So I'm going to take a look at 2016 to see what happened in Q4. 2016, it looks like Amazon went out of stock for a little bit. Maybe Amazon learned a lesson and was able to be in stock some, but they were still out of stock long enough to be able to go from $11.99 up until at one point it was being sold for $19.95. So again, you can look into the past to make a smarter decision about the future. And so this helps you avoid buying inventory items that tank in price, because you're able to look into the past and you're able to kind of do a better job of guessing in the future. I have connections with camels. I don't know if you know this. This is Moses the camel. I asked him to give me all the inside dirt about camel, hashtag camel selfie, and he decided to tell me everything about camel. So I know everything there is about camel. Okay, actually, maybe he was just trying to eat my beard. This was actually a picture at my church's Living Nativity thing last Christmas. But I love camel. I also love Keepa, and I've learned so much from both camel, and Keepa to be able to make smarter sourcing decisions. Now, before, when we talked about the sourcing apps, when you're out using sourcing apps, if you are using Scoutify, you can click the little menu button, and that will open up a link. And there's a bunch of links in that little menu button. One of them is camel. One of them is Keepa. So right in the Scoutify app, you can gain access to camel, and Keepa. Same thing with Profit Bandit. With Profit Bandit, you can click the little CCC button. That will open the camel app. Or you can click your finger on, touch the title of that item. That will open up another little menu where you can choose camel, or Keepa, and you can have that more information right in your smartphone while you're sourcing your inventory. And so it's really good to have. But you know what doesn't have those options? The free Amazon Seller app. Amazon Seller app will only give you today's sales rank and today's pricing. And so that's why you're making inventory decisions and buying items that tank it with price, because you're not taking just a few extra seconds on your purchase to glance at a camel graph or a Keepa graph. And it's like a new skill. It's like a new muscle. At first, it takes a little bit of time to learn it. But as you get used to it, you can easily glance at a Keepa graph or a camel graph and immediately know this is something that is going to hold its price and going to stay really strong, or this is an item that's probably going to go down in price, but it's going to go back up in November and December. That's what's happened the last 3 years. I can probably expect that to happen again this year. By using these apps that have easy connections right within the app to camel, and Keepa. Again, Scoutify comes bundled with Inventory Lab. If you don't know what Inventory Lab is, go to fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is a listing and processing program in order to be able to send your items to Amazon instead of doing it through Seller Central, where it's really kind of crazy and confusing and really not very efficient. You can use Inventory Lab, do it much more efficiently. Plus, it tracks all your profit loss. You can see what your suppliers, like if you can put in the stores that you buy your items from, see which stores are giving you the most money, see which categories are the most profitable for you, things like that. And I totally recommend that. And Scoutify comes bundled with Inventory Lab. So fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. Scoutify is the app that I use when I'm sourcing, because again, I can just go open very simply and see the Keepa graph or the camel graph to make a really good, smart sourcing decision. Okay, before we get into the Q&A time, I do want to remind you again, free sales rank charts and ebook just for you, fulltimefba.com/sales rank. You get that sales rank chart so you can see which items, which sales ranks are in the top 1%, 3%, 5%. And I totally recommend looking at Camel, or Keepa and figuring out what the average sales rank is of an item. Not today's sales rank, but the average sales rank over the last 6 months or the last year. And sourcing items in the top 1%, 3%, and if the ROI is good enough, in the top 5%. And this sales rank chart will help you make better decisions. And then a free ebook that helps you figure and understand Seller Central a little bit better and how to maybe get some reimbursements that Amazon owes you, refunds, other possible Amazon glitches that, I mean, if you've been on Seller Central for any amount of time, it's not perfect. It's really good, but it's not perfect, and there's some glitches that can help. And again, before we do the Q&A, I want to remind you that I put together a course, The Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel. No, it's not about how to keep camels, but it's about how to make smart sourcing decisions. And I go so much in depth with Camel and Keepa. It's a 130-plus page ebook. It's a 4.5-hour video course. The information in the ebook and the video course are exactly the same. So if you prefer reading with pictures, the ebook is the way to go. If you enjoy videos, then you can watch it. Or if you want to do both, then you can get double of the same information. You can just get it in 2 different ways with your brain. HowToKeepACamel.com is where you go to get the course. And again, the ebook and the video, the content in both of those are the same. So you can just pick whichever one you want, but you get both of them with this course. It's a bundle. So HowToKeepACamel.com. If you use the coupon code CAMEL20 at checkout, then you can save $20 off of the cost of the course. And also, you can see at HowToKeepACamel.com, there's a first couple videos free for you to be able to watch. There's testimonials of people who've had their Amazon lives changed because of being able to learn Keepa and Camel at much more in-depth. And I'm only sharing this coupon code here with you, those of you on the webinar. I'm not sending it out to the email list. I'm not posting it on Facebook. I'm not going to be telling everyone about this coupon code. You're getting it because you are taking the time to watch this webinar. So everyone else is going to be paying full price if they want to buy it right now for the next 7 days. You can, or 6 days, yeah, for the next week, you can get $20 off of this course. HowToKeepACamel.com. Camel20 is the coupon code to be able to save $20 off of the course. And I highly recommend it. 30-day money-back or 60-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. And now I'm going to get into some questions here. I want to be able to answer all your questions as much as I can. And my questions are on the screen over here, so if you see me looking over here, that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Tom says, does Camel show if Amazon ever sold the item so you know they're out of stock? Well, okay, so Camel, I can actually show you a little bit here. With Camel, when you are looking at a Camel graph, here the green line is Amazon's price. And you can see that sometimes there's a solid green line, sometimes there is a dotted green line. The dotted green line means Amazon's out of stock. The solid green line means that Amazon is in stock. So actually Amazon's been out of stock on this since probably like October 7th of 2016, or 15 maybe even. So Amazon's been out of stock on this for a long time. Yeah, it's just a dotted line there. So so when you're looking at that, you can see on Camel that Amazon is out of stock with the dotted line. So that's a good question. Let's see another question from you guys. Bring that back. Is Keepa a paid app? No, it's not. Both Camel and Keepa are both absolutely free. And what's really cool is, it's free to access through your smartphone. You can access it on your desktop, and both Camel and Keepa have a Google Chrome extension that you can use this during online arbitrage or on your desktop or laptop. In fact, my favorite is the Keepa Chrome extension. If you're not using Google Chrome, it's probably time to start doing it, experimenting with it, because there's Chrome extensions, which are little apps that work in the background that can totally change how you look at the screen that you're looking at. And so Keepa was able to figure out how to place a Keepa graph right in the middle of a right in the middle of a Chrome, or right in the middle of an Amazon sales page, and so you can see the Keepa graph right on the Amazon sales page. You see the picture, or you see the picture and the price and the buy box, and you scroll down and there's a Keepa graph just automatically included in there. Doesn't mess up anything, just kind of moves things around just a little bit and includes a Keepa graph right in there, and that's free. Let's see. Michelle says, do you use both Scoutify and Profit Bandit? What's the value added for Profit Bandit? Already a faithful Scoutify Inventory Lab user. Actually, I do have Profit Bandit and Scoutify that I use, but I use Scoutify 99.9% of the time. The only time I ever use Profit Bandit, which hasn't happened in I should probably cancel Profit Bandit. I haven't used it in over a year because Scoutify is just really reliable. But for a while, I kept Profit Bandit as a backup in case Inventory Lab ever had some downtime or it wasn't able to be used, and I didn't want to be left out in the dark. But that hasn't happened in like over a year, so I should probably just cancel Profit Bandit. So that's a good question here. John, it's good to see you again. John says, if I only ever look at Keepa, as to me it's easier to read, and it's just more detailed. Just in case I'm missing out, why would I still need camel, camel, camel? That is a great question because, in my opinion, some people love looking at camel, camel, camel graphs, but don't like Keepa. They're like, I want camel, camel, camel. I want my graphs, my pricing graphs, and my sales ranks graphs to be on different tabs. I don't want all the stuff on the same page at the same time. Whereas other people are like, I love Keepa because everything's on the same page and I can just look at it and get all the information with just one glance. And so it's more or less a preference. I really think that Keepa has more features and gives more information, but both of Camel, Camel, Camel and Keepa both give you the most important information. And so that's, it's really good. I don't think you're missing out. If you only use Camel and you're not choosing to use Keepa, then you are missing out on stuff because Keepa will show you different times when the buy box is or what the current, like if you sell a lot of used items, Keepa will track the used like new low price, the used very good low price, the used good low price, the used acceptable low price, and you can kind of gauge the pricing on that. Now again, they don't have all of that information on every single item on Amazon because some of the new things that they've got, they've just been recently rolling out, and so the history or the pricing data that they have might only be from the last 5 months or 6 months, and not like the last year plus like the main information. But Keepa continues to improve and roll out new features. But mostly, I just suggest playing with both of them, see which one you like. I used to always use Camel all the time. Now I mostly use Keepa and Camel occasionally, and so it's more just a preference type of thing. So that's a good question. Let's see some other questions that are on here. Darcy says, these tools are mainly for U.S. site, but not Canada, right? No, actually, both Camel, and Keepa both can be used for Amazon.ca. And so you can get that same information, the sales rank numbers, the pricing information. You can be able to use both Camel, and Keepa for Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, Amazon Mexico, Japan, Amazon. I mean, it's used all of that. Tom says, how much is the Scoutify app? Scoutify app is basically free, but it comes bundled with Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is about a $50 per month charge, and again, that includes the listing, the processing. Instead of printing out 30 labels at the end of your shipment and then adding those labels to your items, you can use a Dymo printer and just print out one label at a time, and just print out one label and then put that one label over the barcode and go on to the next item. That way you don't have to worry about trying to find the items to do the barcodes. That's something that's really good. But it's about $50 a month, and like I said, it's probably the best $50 a month that I spent in my business. I cannot imagine going back and not using Inventory Lab. for processing, and I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. If any of you are curious, I did a webinar with Inventory Lab that's kind of an introductory to Inventory Lab. If you go to fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab webinar, it's a walkthrough about Inventory Lab, and you can see all the things that you can do with it. Let's see, Tracy Young. Hey, Tracy, what's going on? Or maybe it's Kevin, your husband, watching this. I appreciate you guys. Do you find that using Google Chrome slows down your MacBook? I'm trying to get in the habit of opening Chrome, but it slows my computer down a lot. Not sure why. No, I have not seen that it slows my computer down a lot. I think that most of the time when my computer is slowed down, it's because I have too many programs open or too many tabs open. That's what actually slows my computer down with my Mac. But that program itself does not. So I don't know about you. I'm a tabaholic. I like having 400 tabs open at the same time, but I'm trying to get better at that and closing down all those tabs and closing down the programs that I'm not using it at the time. But I haven't seen that it slows down, so good question there. Let's see. Michelle says, thank you, by the way. I've been waiting for the Scoutify update the Inventory Lab team talked about a few months ago. Any word on that update? Yeah, they actually, Michelle, that's a really good question. I was really happy. I had a chance to be a beta tester for the new Scoutify app, and oh my gosh, I'm so pumped about the new Scoutify app. If you already use Scoutify, it's about to get a major upgrade. It's going to be even better, more functions, more information that will help you make really good sourcing decisions. I've tried to get them to nail down when they're going to roll that out. They're just making sure they get all the bugs out, and so I actually had a chance to use the new Scoutify app for about 3 or 4 weeks, and really, it's just really good. So if you already love the first Scoutify app, the update that they're going to be rolling out very soon is going to be even better. And it's a lot of fun to be able to use that. The beta testing is over, and so I'm now having to go back to use the original Scoutify app, which is still really good, but I can't wait till the new one is out. I would expect maybe sometime in September it'll be released, but the thing about Inventory Lab, they don't just release something without doing a lot of internal testing, external beta testing, and make sure that they've got the right type of training materials to help people understand it. If you have any questions about Inventory Lab, they have incredible text and video archive of training stuff of how to use their app, how to use their listing program, and answers almost every question I've ever seen someone ask about their program. But they make sure that they do it top notch, and so they're just making sure that goes around. Michelle can relate to being a tabaholic. I guess the first thing, Michelle, for you and I to do is to admit it out loud to people. My name is Steven. I'm a tabaholic. It's been, yeah, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Scoutify. Kathleen says, do you know if they will increase the Inventory Lab price then? I don't know if they will increase the price. I know that Inventory Lab has had the same price for their monthly fee for at least 2 years, maybe even longer than that, and so it wouldn't shock me if they increased their price. And so I do think that signing up now for Inventory Lab would be good because you would be grandfathered in. I would expect you would be grandfathered in. I don't work with Inventory Lab. I mean, they asked me to do the beta testing for the new Scoutify, but I'm not, on their staff. I was just helping them out. So I would assume that if they increased their price, people would be grandfathered in at the old price. But I'm not 100% sure about that, if they're going to raise their price or if they're just going to keep the price. I honestly think if they raise their price and I had to pay more, I would do that. It's worth it to me. So again, fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. You can get a free 30-day free trial going through that link, and it's something that I can't live without. But I think I've said that 14 times. Catherine says, one tab extension has been my savior for too many tabs. I got to write that down. What's one tab extension? Is that something, a program or something? One tab. Okay, I got to look into that later. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, well, it looks like there's not any more questions. It saves tabs. It saves your tabs for later. That's good stuff. I like that. See, we're starting to run out of time a little bit. If you do have any more questions, be sure you post that in the question area. And as you're typing in those questions if there are any more left. I just want to say again, Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel, 130, 140 plus pages of an ebook and over 4.5 hours of videos that will help you. I mean, I talk about how to price for seasonal items. I mean, there's times where it's like, hey, if you wait 2 more months, you can get twice as much for your item if you just wait 2 more months. I mean, how many of you willing to pay 2 more months of monthly storage fees to be able to double your profit? I mean, so I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to know when to compete with Amazon, when not to compete with Amazon, how go into more details about avoiding tanking prices, how to price smart, because a lot of times we price the item the day that we source it, you know, or we price the item the day that we process it, and there might be better ways to price. Well, there are. So, and I walk you through all of that with Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel, and go into some really advanced camel and keep it tricks and tips to be able to make some more money, better decisions, things like that. Janelle says, do you need to have a pro account on Amazon to get Scoutify? Yeah, I believe you do. You need a pro account to be able to use Inventory Lab and Scoutify. And honestly, if you are wanting to, if you're serious about your Amazon business, you need to set yourself up with a pro account. The pro account not only opens you up to being able to use these type of apps and programs, it also allows you to create new product pages. So if you have items on Amazon, or you have stuff you want to sell that's on Amazon, you can create new product pages, but only with Pro. And it gives you that accountability. I'm paying a monthly fee to be a pro seller on Amazon. That's going to push me to source more. That's going to push me to sell more items. And it's that accountability. If you're just kind of doing this, you know, just kind of as a, you know, just a chill little hobby or whatever like that, that's fine. But if you really want to make some serious money with Amazon and build up, especially with Q4 coming, you want to build up your inventory, you want to get some really good sales with Q4, you need to be a pro seller to be able to make that happen at the maximum possibility that you're out. Tom says, do you take PayPal? Yeah, if you go to howtokeepacamel.com and click buy, it will take you to, and be sure you put in Camel20 so you can save 20 bucks. That will take you to a PayPal page where you can enter in your PayPal information and pay, and then you will get immediately access to the Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel. Sandra says, I was a little late joining. Welcome. Glad you're at least here. Is there any way to watch the beginning of this webinar? Yes. Sometime in around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, the replay of this webinar will finish processing and it will be emailed out to you. So you can go to your email inbox and you will get a link with the replay sometime in the middle of the night. So by the time you wake up in the morning, there should be a replay for this webinar. But that's a really good question. That's good. Michelle says, I came in late to the call, but have you discussed what a drop shipper is yet? I think they are merchant fulfilled sellers who tank prices and may have large quantities and dominate the buy box. Well, that was not actually something I was planning on talking about, but I can say a little bit about that right now. Yeah, drop shippers are merchant fulfilled sellers who post on Amazon that they have an item for sale, but they don't actually have that item in stock. And when someone purchases it from them, then that drop shipper goes to the website or the wholesale company or wherever they were going to buy it from, and they order it from them and put their customer's address in as the delivery. And so say they know they can buy something at Walmart.com for $10, and they put it as a merchant fulfilled seller for 20 bucks on Amazon, and someone buys it. Well, they just go to Walmart and buy it for $10 and have it sent to their customer. It's a very dangerous, and I say dangerous, you're not going to get killed or anything, not that kind of danger, but when it comes to your Amazon account and the health of your Amazon account, it can be a very dangerous option to do because you have no control over if that wholesaler or if that store still has that item in stock, and you don't want to cancel too many orders You have no control over when they're going to ship it out. You have no control over if they're going to ship the right item. You have no control over if they're going to ship a broken item. You haven't been. I mean, how many times have you ordered something from a store and the wrong item was delivered, or the wrong version of an item was delivered, or it came broken? You know, those are things that you can avoid by making sure that you are able, you know, the items that you're selling. And if you're doing it as a drop shipper, it's just not a good, wise decision. And so there are some dropper shippers that come in, but they still need to make money somehow. There are also a few people who set up accounts on Amazon and price items to sell on Amazon, again, as merchant fulfilled, not as Amazon FBA, not as a prime seller, but as a merchant fulfilled seller. And everyone else is priced at like $50, and they're like, I'm going to sell mine new for $10. And they get the sale, but they don't ever actually ship the item out, and they try to get the money before Amazon catches on that they're not actually shipping out, and it's just a big scam. Amazon's starting to shut down those people and finding out who they are a lot faster. But honestly, as an Amazon FBA seller, our competition is not merchant-fulfilled sellers. I completely ignore merchant-fulfilled prices, merchant-fulfilled competitors, how many people are selling merchant-fulfilled, because my customer is the prime buyer, the person who expects to get their item in 2 days, 1 day, same day. There's so many Amazon buyers, and so, in fact, every time there's a Prime Day, tons more people sign up for Prime. And Amazon is doing a really good job of getting us as customers to expect free second-day shipping, to be able to order something and get it the next day for a reasonable price. And they're grooming us and getting us to expect that all the time, so that we're frustrated if someone else takes a week to send it to us, or someone else even takes 3 or 4 days to send it to us. We get frustrated because Amazon is getting us spoiled, basically. And so that's why I only look at Amazon FBA sellers as my true competitors on Amazon. Sure, there might be some customers out there who are fine waiting 10 days to get their book mailed to them, media rate, by buying it on Amazon, but my customers are going to pay more, pay higher prices, sometimes 2 or 3 times as much as a merchant-fulfilled price, because of the Prime benefits of getting that book the next day. I mean, I know you probably have experienced, if you're a Prime seller, if you're a Prime buyer, you probably know that that experience. So anyway, I kind of went on a rant about that. Tracy Young says Inventory Lab is worth every single penny. I totally agree. Again, can't live without it. Darcy said, I got invited to business seller account. What's your thoughts on this type of account? Most of the business seller account is good if you have multiple items that a business will probably purchase. So the business seller account, okay, because I know they've sent out business buyer accounts, business seller accounts. Business seller would be good if you have multiple items that most businesses would probably purchase, but it's only good because you would be offering those items at a cheaper price. And so business buyers would be the only people who would see your business seller prices that are cheaper. You know, you'll have your regular price for regular Amazon customers, and you'll have your Amazon business price that only Amazon businesses see. And most of the time when Amazon business buyers buy something, they like to, you know, they're buying it for their business. And so sometimes they buy multiples of items or business-related items. And so I've signed up for it. I have not really seen a whole lot of increase in my sales, but then again, I have not really gone in and lowered very many of my prices. You know, again, I take a look at what Camel, and Keep It say when it comes to prices, and that's how I price my items. But that's a really good question, too. Tom says, thanks, great info. Sandra says, awesome, thank you. Linda says, why does Keepa reset? I had an item that had been selling for months, but Keepa shows only 8 days of info. That's a good question. I have not experienced an item on Keepa where it reset. I've had an item that I've been selling that Keepa did not track the item until, you know, a few weeks into selling that item, and then Keepa started to track an item. But I've never seen items on Keepa where it would reset unless the ASIN changed or. But yeah, I've not seen anything like that before. So I'm sorry if you're experiencing that. I've not seen that. Michelle says, one of my new items is competing with a possible drop shipper. Can't come close to the buy box. As a result, their price is less than my purchase price. Yeah, my thought would be to just wait till they sell out, and hopefully that will be soon, and then you can get your price. I don't know if you know about the app. That's the Chrome extension called How Many. If you go to fulltimefba.com/howmany, it's an app that you can use, worth, again, every penny, that shows you the number of items in your competitor's stock. You can do that with a Chrome extension where it shows you all of the competitors of items on Amazon and how many they have in stock. They could have just one, they could have 200. And so it's like if you look at that competitor and see that they have 200 in stock, you might then decide, I'll just lower my price, get my money back, and find other things to spend it on. But you know what? To be able to get the buy box, you need to be an FBA seller. There's pretty rare times where they'll give the buy box to merchant fulfilled. I guess because it's so much lower than yours is why you're there. It's a suppressed buy box where you can't see it. But if you use the option, if you use How Many, it really helps you know how many items are in stock for your competitors. But if you don't do that very much and you don't need that information very often, there's another trick that you can do. You can actually go to your competitor's item and add it to your cart, and then change the quantity in your cart to 999, and then click enter, and it will say, I'm sorry, this seller only has 5 in stock, or only has 400 in stock, and then you know how many they have in stock. So if you just want to do it for every now and then that's a little trick. Just be sure to delete those items from your cart. You don't want to accidentally click buy and you have got 400 items being sent to you and you just spent $3,000 or whatever. Be sure you delete that from your cart. But if you use that, if you need that strategy all the time, I totally recommend the How Many Chrome extension. fulltimefba.com/howmany will forward you to that Chrome extension to get more information about it, because sometimes it's kind of hard to find if you're just searching for it. Kathleen says, thank you for always giving such helpful info to us and with such integrity. I always know I can trust you to share and believe that you actually want to help us. Thank you, Kathleen, for that. That means a lot to me. That's my goal, and there's actually people out there who hate me for giving away a lot of free information, but it's messages like that that help keep me going, so really appreciate that. Tracy Young says, how can the How Many extension be used when you're outsourcing or primarily at home on your laptop when you might be doing OA? So it works both ways. You use the How Many extension on your Chrome when you're at home on your desktop or laptop, and you can see how many they have in stock. But I forgot to say, there's a How Many app that also comes with, so you pay for the How Many extension, and it also comes with an app. And with the app, it's just like a phone app, where you can either scan the barcode when you're in store, or you can enter in the ASIN while you're in the store, and it loads how many items are in stock, and you can see how many items the FBA sellers have in stock, merchant fulfilled sellers have in stock, and so you can be like, okay, there's a merchant fulfilled seller who's got like 20 in stock, but my competition is really FBA. I'm going to just focus on the FBA sellers, and you can see, oh, that's only, I'm going to have 1 in stock. I'm going to let him sell out. And in fact, every once in a while, I've used the strategy where I'm priced at like $50 for a board game, and I see someone else come in, and they're selling it as new for $20. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see how many they have in stock. If they only have 1, I'm going to buy it and just add it to my inventory. So I buy it. I don't use Prime shipping to buy it, because you're not allowed to use Prime shipping, Prime benefits, if you are going to send it back into Amazon. That's one of Amazon's terms of service. When it comes to Prime shipping, you cannot use Prime shipping if your intent is to send it back to Amazon. If you do it on accident every now and then, that's fine, but if you make a practice of buying things with Prime shipping to be delivered to you in order to send it back to Amazon to add to your account, that will ding your account, so just be careful about that. But that's something I've done because I've been able to see this person only has 1 in stock. I'm going to buy them out, and now the low price is back to $50 where I'm trying to sell that item. Hope that helps. Let's see. Michelle says, I used your link. I now have how many? Locks up sometimes, though. Really use it a lot now. Yeah, every once in a while it'll lock up. I mean, most computer programs have little glitches every now and then, but I would say 99.9% of the time, how many works perfectly. Linda says, Keepa also shows you. That's something that Keepa is working on. It's not working for every item just yet to show you how many they have in stock. And also, sometimes they will only show you if someone has a certain number amount. So Keepa's still working on it. They're still trying to tweak it to make it work perfectly. So it's not working very well just yet, as far as I can see. Right now, I'm continuing to use how many, and it's been really good. Summer says, I really appreciate all that you're teaching us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Summer, for hanging out here. Catherine says, love your books. Have most of them. You got me into shoes. Awesome. Yeah, our shoe court. I mean, we're still selling tons of shoes. And, in fact, we've already eclipsed last year's sales for shoes. And it's just now, it's the middle of the year. And we've already eclipsed last year's total sales for shoes. So we just continue to sell shoes. Even after we tell everyone how to go out and buy shoes and sell them on Amazon, we're still finding more stuff. So, yeah, if you are interested in our shoe course, fulltimefba.com/selling shoes. It's our #1 selling category. Maybe we'll do a shoe webinar sometime in the future. Rebecca knows a ton about that. Maybe I can convince her to come on to a webinar. That'd be kind of fun. Michelle said, I didn't know about the How Many app. Thank you. You're welcome. Be sure you take advantage of that. Tom says, what is the ranking chart site to get each month? If you go to fulltimefba.com/sales rank, then that will add you to my email list. And on around the first of every month, I email out the latest the latest sales rank chart to everyone on my email list, and you can find that super easy. Plus, if you get the course, the Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel, I also include a link in that download page to quick and easy access to the sales rank chart, so you don't have to wait once a month for me to send you the newest one. Darcy says, thank you for the webinar. Going to purchase your Keep a Camel course. Thank you, Darcy. Really appreciate you saying that. Let's see. You should. Catherine, that's a good pun. I was saying I should do a shoe webinar, and she's like, you should do a webinar. That's funny. I think that's what you meant to do. That was funny. I like puns. In fact, if you read the shoe book, there are a ton of shoe puns that we threw into the shoe book, where Rebecca and I had a lot of fun with that. I mean, the subtitle is How to Kick Up Your Profits. I mean, that's just the start of the shoe puns when it comes to, what's in the course. Michelle says, I think now I purchased your shoe course recently. I have all your trainings. Thanks so much for all your help. You're welcome. Okay, it's after the hour. We've been here hanging out for over 60 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Again, don't forget, Reseller's Guide to How to Keep a Camel. Use the coupon code CAMEL20, save $20, and then use that $20 on inventory that will not tank in price. Thanks again for hanging out. The webinar replay will be emailed out to you sometime in the middle of the night. And if you're watching this, even if you watch this after the coupon code expires, every once in a while, I'll turn the code back on again just for a short time, so you can even try that code sometime in the future after the coupon code expires, just in case. But who knows? It's just, it's one of those things that never hurts to try to see if it works for you. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me. I'm going to stop the recording. God bless everybody again, and I hope you just have a great day. See you later. Bye. Tom, Linda, Ali, thank you for saying thank you for this. I have a lot of fun. We'll do another webinar sometime soon. Y'all have a great day. Bye.